Microsoft has made many updates to Windows 10 in 2018 and 2019. This video describes the 6 best updates made through June 30th, 2019, including the May 2019 Features update. These updates add the ability to resume previous tasks, change the way the search and Cortana features are displayed, make the cursor more visible, and adjust the size of desktop icons and their titles. The latest version of Windows 10 is version 1903, build 18362.207. To find which version you have installed, type WINVER in the search box, press enter. My version is 1903, build 18362.207. If yours is less than that, you need to update. If yours is greater than that, you've already updated past the point where this video was made and you're okay. And you can skip the next minute of this video, which describes how to update. If you need to update your system, run check for updates. And the easiest way to do it, start to type it here in the search box. Turns out the C is enough. Run check for updates, and it says you're up to date. Otherwise, it will list updates, and you can select updates to install them. Now, continue to do this until you're sure there are no more updates on the check for updates page. You may need to separately install the May 2019 Features update. And the way to do that is go to the Windows Software Download website with this URL, then click Windows 10, and at the top where it says Windows 10 May 2019 Update Now Available, click Update Now. That will download the installer. Then look in the downloads and execute the installer for the Update Assistant. Say yes. If you have already updated to the latest version of Windows 10, you'll get this message that says thank you for updating, and there's an exit to click to make the window go away. If you haven't done it yet, you'll be prompted to actually do that update, and that's the May 2019 Features update. There are many other changes made by Windows recently, including several to change the appearance of the desktop. These are not covered in this video. You can Google and find those. The Windows search button or search box is now separate from the Cortana button on the taskbar. To change how these are displayed, right-click the taskbar. To change search options, the search options are: you can hide the search button from the taskbar. You can show only the search icon until you click the icon and then show the search box. Or you can show the search box on the taskbar. I recommend you check Show Search Icon to save space on the taskbar. You can check or uncheck Show Cortana Button to remove the button from the taskbar. When the button is removed, Cortana will still open when you say, "Hey Cortana," if that option is selected. And the way to change that option is click the Windows icon, click Settings, click Cortana, then turn on or off this button which says "Let Cortana respond to Hey Cortana." If it's on and you say "Hey Cortana," it will open. Here's a demonstration. "Hey Cortana." Here's a demonstration with it off. "Hey Cortana." "Hey Cortana." It does not react when it is off. If you really want to save space on the taskbar and you like to use the Hey Cortana feature, just hide it from the taskbar and be sure to turn on listening for Hey Cortana. Windows has added an easy way to resume a task you worked on earlier. Either hold down the Windows key and press Tab, or click on the Task View icon on the taskbar. Windows shows thumbnails for all the tasks you've worked on recently. That list is scrollable and it includes quite a few entries. To resume any one of those entries, just click it. If the entry is editing a file that you have since deleted, obviously it won't open. To exit this mode, just click an unused area on the desktop. The Windows cursor is sometimes very hard to find on the desktop when the desktop is cluttered with a lot of icons. And also, when you're editing text, the text cursor may be a little difficult to locate. There are changes to ease of access settings that make the cursor much more visible. Start to type ease of access in the search box. And just now, all I had to type was E, and when it appears highlighted, just press enter. Select cursor and pointer options. You can change the size of the pointer by moving this slider to the right or left. The default setting is 1. I prefer a setting of 3. Pointer color, you can set it to white. You can set it to black. Notice that when you set it to black, it has a white outline on it. So it's very easy to see no matter what color the pointer is above. The next setting causes the pointer to have an overlap appearance if it's overlapping an edge. It has a certain color if it overlaps a darker area than it does when it overlaps a lighter area. And the last setting is a color setting. You can change the color of the cursor to any one of these colors here. I prefer to use the simple black setting here. It's very visible at all times. The next setting changes the cursor thickness for when you're editing text. The default setting is to the left of 1. I prefer a setting of 3. Notice the way it changes in the sample here. I prefer a setting of 3. If you get much higher than that, it starts to cover the letters. Warning: changing pointer settings reacts badly with some screen recorders. If this happens, update or switch screen recorders or just change the pointer settings back to the defaults. Another option is to change the text size for the names of the icons on the window. Select Display, and for this one, there is a sample there, but I'll restore the icon so you can see what's happening as we change it. Notice that when I change this position of the slider, it doesn't take effect on the desktop until I click Apply. But you can see the effects on the sample. So I prefer a setting of around 120%. By default, it shows 2 lines unless you click the icon. And if you make the text size too large, you can't see much of the name of the icon unless you click it. For instance, here's one. When I click it, it shows the rest of it. But when it's not selected, you can't see as much of the title as you can when it's set down to 120. But you have to set it to something where you can easily read the names of the icons. And again, we've got to click Apply to have it take effect on the desktop. It does take quite a while for that change to take effect. Maybe up to 30 seconds even. Notice that now User's Manuals, the whole name shows, and it's not cut off like it was when I was using the larger. Again, I prefer the 120%. This one is a safe one to use because when you make the text larger and larger, it doesn't make the icons larger and it won't cause the screen to be reformatted. The next one you want to be careful with, because if you make this too large, the icons will become large enough to force Windows to reformat the screen. And when that happens, the only way to restore the original is to go back to the original shape and then drag each icon individually into position. And that can take hours if you have a lot of icons. So be very careful when you're making everything larger. This enlarges both the text size and the size of the icons. They recommend 150. I like 200. Again, be careful. It'll cause your screen to reformat if the icons get too large. There are a lot of other changes to change the brightness and things like that, but they're really beyond the scope of this video. If you want to look into those with Google or on the Windows help, you can pretty up your screen, make it nice and fancy, put different photos for your background, for your wallpaper, for your desktop. I prefer to simply use a blue background and not get too fancy with all the settings. That's a much simpler way to operate. If you liked my video, please like it and add a comment. If you subscribe and request email notifications, you'll be notified when videos are added to the channel. To visit my channel, click my name, Thomas Wallace, or my photo.